Hey guys, I'm Tina and welcome back to Well and Tasty. Today I'm sharing the last video in our January meal prep series and I hope you guys have been enjoying the meal prep so far. I really like meal prep because, like I said, it sets the foundation for my week. Whenever I meal prep, I usually have a pretty productive week. Now, there's no special technique to meal prepping. It's really just going with how you feel, whatever works for your schedule. The goal is to take away having to overthink eating and just making sure that you're eating healthy and balanced. And so if you are trying to figure out your own meal prep technique and you're struggling, then please feel free to ask me some questions and I'll be more than happy to help any way that I can. So I hope you guys enjoy this fourth video in our January meal prep series, and I think it's gonna be the final one for this month, but I will definitely be sharing more meal prep videos as we go along. So thank you guys so much for watching and I hope you enjoy this video, and let's just get right into cooking. I'm going to start off by roasting a few vegetables. So I chopped my carrots on a bias, trying to keep the sizes as even as possible. Then I'll just transfer to a bowl and season with some salt, some pepper, a drizzle of oil, and some balsamic vinegar. Then mix well to combine. Transfer to a baking tray and spread out in one single layer. Next are my Brussels sprouts. Now I'm using frozen here because I needed to use up this bag I had in my freezer, but fresh Brussels sprouts would be even better because they crisp really nicely and are also more flavorful. So I'm just seasoning it up with some salt, some pepper, drizzle of my olive oil again, and then I'll just mix well and transfer onto the same tray as I had my carrots on. And then I just want to roast this in the oven for about 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 30 minutes. Go in there halfway through to just shake up the tray. And that's it. The carrots are gonna get really sweet and your Brussels sprouts are gonna have this nice little char on them as well. Next, I'm going to roast some plantains. So you just want to go ahead and peel your plantains and chop them into wedges. I really love plantains. You know, I eat them boiled, which I have shared before in my last meal prep video. And I also enjoy them roasted or fried and even mashed. I mean, plantains are just so good and so versatile. Once all your plantains have been chopped up, then we're just gonna go ahead and transfer them onto a baking tray lined with some parchment paper, and again spread it out. Then we're gonna season with some salt, some pepper, a little smoked paprika, and then drizzle on with some oil, then mix well and again make sure to spread it out in one single layer. We're just going to roast the plantains in the oven for about 30 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, just making sure to go in there halfway through and just shake the tray for even browning all over on your plantains. They are so good and so much more healthy than frying. Next, we're moving on to our spice blend for my pork tenderloin. So I'm mixing some onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, chipotle powder, cumin, herb de Provence, and then I'm gonna zest one orange as well as one lime. Then I'll just mix everything well and set aside. Moving over to the pork tenderloin, you just want to dab the tenderloin with a kitchen towel to dry well. Then using a paring knife, I'm just going to stab at the pork, and this will allow the blend and flavor to really infuse nicely throughout the pork. Then I'll season both sides with some salt and pepper and then add my spice blend. So tap the blend, just tap and press it really nicely into the pork. This will help to just get that seasoning all in there perfectly. Then I drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, again just to help the rub stick nicely to the pork tenderloin. Next, we're just gonna heat up an oven-safe skillet and add in our oil. Place the pork in the pan and then brown for about 5 minutes. And then we're just gonna go in and flip the pork and brown the other side for about 2 to 3 minutes and then turn off the heat. Squeeze the juice of 1 orange and then also the juice of 1 lime over the pork. And then just stir the pork tenderloin within the sauce to kind of make sure that it's well coated with those juices. Transfer the pork into the oven, again at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then you're just going to remove it and allow to rest about 5 minutes before slicing into it. After the pork has been resting for about 5 minutes, we're just going to go in and slice our pork on a bias. Now the pork is going to be so juicy and tender and packed with tons of flavor. My husband typically doesn't like pork, but this he really enjoys. And if you're not into pork, then you can definitely just do beef or chicken the same way. Now we're moving on to our minced meat stew, or some people will call it a Bolognese, but you're just heating up some oil and then adding the onions and cooking till it's soft. And then we're gonna add in our ground beef. Break the beef up with a wooden spoon and then season with some salt, some pepper, some herb de Provence, paprika, and just stir everything well. Cook the meat until it's no longer pink. Then I'm gonna cheat a little bit by using store-bought tomato basil sauce. I'm just adding my sauce from a bottle and then I'm mixing well. I like to add as much nutrients as I can when I'm cooking, so I'm just gonna add some fresh spinach in here and then stir again and cover it to wilt. And once the spinach is all wilted, that's pretty much it. You're just gonna taste for some salt and pepper, and voila, you are done. Minced meat sauce or Bolognese. And finally, we're gonna make some spaghetti squash in the Instant Pot. This is very quick. So I'm just slicing my squash and then I'm gonna scoop out all the seeds. And then I'm gonna add the Instant Pot rack as well as about a cup of water. Then nestle the spaghetti squash into the Instant Pot and set it to cook for 7 minutes. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can also make this very easy in the microwave. You could also roast it along with all the other vegetables, but the Instant Pot is just really fast. And once that time is up, you just want to use a fork to pull at the spaghetti threads, and then you can season this with salt and pepper, but I typically like to wait until I'm about to eat it to season it. That way it doesn't pull out, like the salt doesn't pull out all the moisture from the spaghetti squash. And that's it, guys, another meal prep wrapped up. So we have some roasted plantains, minced meat sauce, spaghetti squash, carrots and Brussels sprouts, and then also some pork tenderloin. I hope you guys enjoyed these recipes. Follow me on Instagram at Well&Tasty. Share with me what you're making, and I will see you again in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.